Hey everyone! Have you ever had that feeling where you just want to play something truly new? Well, if you have, you've come to the right place. Today, I've picked 15 upcoming releases this year that you absolutely cannot miss. So let's not drag out the intro and let's get started. Ghost of Yotei. The sequel to Ghost of Tsushima just dropped with a trailer that revealed the release date. This action sequel comes out October 2nd, first exclusively on PlayStation 5 and later on PC. The new trailer reveals the story foundation. Our main character named Atsu experiences tragedy. Her family gets killed by 6 bandits and she's left for dead. However, Atsu survives and goes after the killers to get revenge for her family. From what we can see in the footage, players can expect not only journeys through a dark world, but also flashbacks in time. You'll be able to play as Atsu as a child to better understand her motivation. In a fresh PlayStation blog post, developers emphasize that the sequel will be noticeably more open and flexible, both in terms of world exploration and quest completion. They promise way more freedom, a world that's times bigger than Ghost of Tsushima, and way more choices in story development. And judging by the trailer's atmosphere, no less drama than the original. Pre-orders for Ghost of Yotei are already open in PlayStation Store since May 2nd. When the PC release happens, developers haven't said yet. Hunger. Godfang Corporation, formerly known as Black Matter, the developers of Hell Let Loose, where I've been spending all my free time these past weeks, provided the first gameplay trailer of their new project, a PvP/PvE shooter. Gameplay-wise, Hunger looks like a twin brother to Hunt Showdown 1896. However, developers are putting a big emphasis on melee combat with a unique focus on character development. Exploring the ruined world, players will find new equipment, level up skills, and complete quests. And you'll have to fight off not only other survivors, but also various monsters. After death, your character loses all equipped gear. However, the game has a progression system with more than 100 talents. This way you can customize gameplay to your taste. For example, make your character more stealthy, speed up reloading, or learn to pick locks and repair weapons. Hunger's early access opens in the second half of 2025. The game comes out on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and I hope, just like Hell Let Loose, it'll be on Game Pass subscription. Covenant. Studio Legion showed a fresh trailer of their upcoming game. Working on this game are industry veterans who previously worked on Doom, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo. Announced at the end of last year, this title is a dynamic first-person action game in a dark fantasy setting with RPG elements. The authors themselves call this game an FPS Souls-like. Similar to other Souls-like games, weapons in Covenant can be used both one-handed and two-handed. We'll be playing as an angel warrior sent from heaven to follow in a predecessor's footsteps and investigate the details of their death. Along the way, we'll uncover the mysteries of creation. Gameplay revolves around exploring branching locations, just like in Souls-like games. This means puzzles, riddles, and platforming will become part of the player's journey. Finding shortcuts and loopholes will be key to uncovering all secrets. Arsenal of weapons, melee combat skills, magical abilities, and more can be customized to fit you and your playstyle. Besides the single-player campaign, developers announced there will be a PvP arena with 1-on-1, 2-on-2, and 3-on-3 matches. Covenant comes out on PC and later, possibly on consoles. Approximate release date is 2025 to 2026. Ocean Drive Studio has announced God Save Birmingham, a survival game set in 14th century Birmingham during a zombie outbreak. The first 8-minute trailer showcases the grim atmosphere of a medieval city, where you take control of a survivor fighting off hordes of undead and battling your own character's physical limits, using only improvised tools. With no firearms in sight, staying alive is especially tough. But thanks to a realistic physics system, you can barricade doorways with furniture, climb over obstacles, and even slice off individual limbs from zombies. Be careful though. They can do the same to you. The game promises a historically authentic setting, complete with markets, blacksmiths, and rowdy taverns. When early access launches on Steam, it'll feature a portion of the city and a sandbox mode. A full story campaign will arrive later with the final release. No exact release date has been confirmed yet, but early impressions from PAX East were positive. Players got hands-on with a demo at the booth. The game is set to launch in early access on Steam sometime this year. As for consoles, the devs haven't said anything yet. Deliver at all cost. Set in 1959, Deliver at all cost puts you in the shoes of Winston Green, a man tasked with delivering all kinds of strange and downright bizarre cargo. But these aren't your typical delivery runs. Every job leaves a trail of chaos and destruction in its wake. The game uses an isometric perspective, and Winston doesn't exactly drive carefully. He speeds through city streets, crashes into buildings, smashes through obstacles, and constantly flirts with death. Depending on what you're hauling, and yes, it might be an actual atomic bomb, your deliveries will take you across a massive open world, which you can explore both on foot and by vehicle. The world is packed with reactive NPCs who respond to your every move, and there's a storyline full of secrets and shady conspiracies. And yes, folks, the game's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Wuchang, Fallen Feathers. During the Xbox Partner Preview event, a trailer was shown for the Chinese hardcore action RPG Wuchang, inspired by projects from Japanese studio From Software. The game from Lindsay Games Studio will transport players to the world of ancient China, combining exciting gameplay and deep story. Wuchang's events take place during the late Ming Dynasty era, which ruled from 1368 to 1644. Players will explore dark atmospheric locations, using diverse weapons and magical abilities to battle numerous enemies and overcome difficult challenges. Wuchang's main heroine will face ornithosis disease, which adds additional layers of complexity to gameplay and storytelling, but also grants her magical abilities. The trailer demonstrated impressive graphics and dynamic combat scenes, which has already generated great interest among fans of this genre. Wuchang's release date is planned for 2025. The game should appear on all current platforms: PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Pro, and Xbox Series X and S. Half-Life 3. YouTuber Tyler McVicker, who specializes in Valve company leaks, insists that a new Half-Life part is indeed in development. And moreover, friends, it can allegedly already be completed from start to finish. If we believe McVicker, the new Half-Life won't be a VR game like Half-Life Alyx. Also, the game won't use procedural generation in roguelike style. Instead, it uses a system inspired by the AI director from Left 4 Dead, which adapts to the player's style, changes environment, enemy objects, and NPC behavior. Although Valve hasn't officially confirmed anything yet, McVicker claims that Half-Life 3, being developed under the codename HLX, has progressed much further than most other Half-Life world projects ever created at Valve. Now, the team is focused on refinement and optimization. Basically, polishing, not basic development. And what's potentially more exciting, friends, is that according to The Insider, the game's announcement could happen this summer with release in winter 2025. Those are some nice news. Developers from Pulse Trick Studio announced a new gameplay trailer. This is a first-person horror game called A.I.L.A. In the game, set in the near future, game tester Samuel must go through creepy scenarios designed by artificial intelligence, each based on his deepest fears. The game will explore various horror subgenres on its levels, challenging players in encounters with cults, medieval battles, and complex puzzles. A.I.L.A. is being developed using Unreal Engine 5, also using advanced technologies it provides, particularly Lumen, Nanite, and MetaHuman. This will create an incredible experience of being in the game's various environments. The game comes out in 2025, so far only on PC. Possibly later the game will also come out on consoles. Crimson Desert. Some time ago, information appeared in one of the financial blogs that Sony planned to get temporary exclusivity for Crimson Desert. In the same blog, players found additional information suggesting the game comes out in 2025. But the most interesting thing, friends, isn't that. The source reports that completing the game will take you 50 to 100 hours. Additionally, developers want to offer a final ending. According to rumors, the studio was largely oriented toward The Witcher 3, including the story, Plans for further development have also appeared. They say developers care about long-term profit. Therefore, after release, Crimson Desert might get a multiplayer mode similar to GTA Online. At the meeting, they said, Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the best games ever made. Perhaps that's why developers want to draw inspiration from Rockstar's hit. The presence of multiplayer mode shouldn't surprise you, since Pearl Abyss is known primarily for their MMO Black Desert, and Crimson Desert was originally planned to be released in exactly that format. And once again, friends, the game comes out in 2025 on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Borderlands 4. Gearbox Studio, together with Sony's gaming division, presented new materials for the anticipated Borderlands 4 during a special State of Play presentation. The game's action unfolds on the new planet Karos. Gameplay will focus around fighting the dictatorship of a mysterious leader called the Timekeeper. You'll explore various regions of the world, joining forces with allies to overthrow the ruler. Borderlands 4 will offer players a choice of 4 characters, each having 3 unique passive skill development branches. The leveling system promises to become the deepest among all franchise parts. Cooperative play will also be supported, allowing you to complete the story together with your friends. And besides that, the project will feature an improved equipment system. New item types include special slots for grenades, heavy weapons, and accessories. The feature of legendary items is significantly increased rarity and value, which stimulates players to actively farm unique resources. And special quests will allow repeatedly replaying some levels for better loot. Borderlands 4 release happens September 12th, 2025, 9 days earlier than originally planned. Decadent. This is a first-person shooter with deep focus on story and horror atmosphere, characteristic of Lovecraft's universe. The game combines world exploration, tense battles, and frightening atmosphere of loneliness in a world where time seemingly froze in place. You take on the role of John Lorne, a British explorer and World War I veteran who, due to certain circumstances, became an occultist. During one of the experiments, Lorne becomes a carrier of a strange parasite lodged in his arm. Now you must embark on a final journey through the Arctic, searching for your son, who disappeared in glaciers along with his university expedition. Balancing on the thin line between good and evil, as his courage and sanity are pushed to the limit, John must realize how much evil he's willing to cause others to save someone dear to him. Approximate release date is 2025. The game comes out on PC. Plan 8. A trailer appeared for the sci-fi MMO shooter with open-world Plan 8 from Pearl Abyss Company, creators of Black Desert Online, showing how humans fight against mechanized opponents. It's worth noting that Min Lee himself acts as technical consultant, who previously participated in creating the original Counter-Strike. According to developers, Plan 8 will have various exoskeletons that give characters additional superpowers. For example, the trailer showed that one of the exoskeletons allows characters to fly. Considering the game's MMO direction, Plan 8 will have multiplayer functions and the ability to interact with other gamers. Plan 8 is being developed for PC and consoles. Approximate release date is mid-2025. Instinction. Capcom hasn't announced the revival of the Dino Crisis brand, but many fans from the 90s remember the series with great love. The Hashbane team from New Zealand doesn't hide their fascination with Dino Crisis and references it in Instinction project videos. However, some commentators claim the game resembles Turok more than Dino Crisis. The game will let you kill many terrifying prehistoric creatures in a semi-open world, offering exciting battles and location exploration that impresses with natural magnificence. Developers promise a story campaign and puzzles, and have already announced that Instinction will present some visual capabilities of Unreal Engine 5, such as Lumen and Nanite. Instinction is planned for release on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. Well, and to finish, a couple more releases you also can't miss. First is Elden Ring Nightreign from Software, released May 30th. This is a cooperative adventure in the Elden Ring world with intense battles and roguelike elements. Gamers will go on expeditions to dark and dangerous lands to gain experience, valuable loot, and survive confrontation with deadly creatures. A big 10-minute trailer reveals the game's features and gameplay. We see combat skills of different characters and how skillfully they oppose various monsters. The main threat in Nightreign's world will be mighty Night Lords who appear on the third day. These bosses will be a serious test for the entire team's skills. Between expeditions, we'll rest in a fortress that serves as shelter and base. Here, heroes prepare for new battles, selecting equipment and relics. Also scattered throughout the game world will be memory fragments that reveal characters' past. Elden Ring Nightreign came out May 30th on PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One. Game of Thrones Kingsroad. Warner Bros. Entertainment rolled their adventure RPG out of early access May 21st. The game then became available not only on PC but also on mobile devices. And it's absolutely free, though it adds plenty of microtransactions, which isn't news for free-to-play. After official release, they added much more content like new map areas, dungeons, and story episodes. And I'll remind you, Game of Thrones Kingsroad offers Exploring Westeros from George Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire book cycle. You'll play as a member of the small House Tyre from the north. After the death of brothers, the main hero must restore his house's former glory. You'll be presented with 3 class choices: Assassin, Knight, and Mercenary. In his wanderings, the protagonist will not only visit places familiar from the series, but also meet famous characters from Game of Thrones. On PC, Game of Thrones Kingsroad is available through Steam and Epic Games Store, while on mobile devices you can download the game through App Store and Google Play. The project also features crossplay. And that's the last game for today. This video featured both hot anticipated releases you can't miss, and already released games to brighten the wait for upcoming releases. So you can write in the comments which game you're waiting for most, or suggest new ideas for future videos. I'll definitely take that into account. Well, I'm not saying goodbye. I see you soon in new videos.